get mad at me. I'm wearing the same outfit because I'm filming these back to back, but that's because I was inspired. So I just wanted to keep it going and finish the series for you guys. So welcome back to my YouTube channel, She's French. If you're new, welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's down below. You know what to do. So last video in this minimalist / capsule closet wardrobe series, we talked about some mistakes that you could be making. Today, I want to talk about something else that's pretty tricky, and that's how to transition your closet through the seasons, especially if you live in a place that has extremely different climates, which is definitely the case for me. And I've had the crash course on this living in Paris. And if you're new, I used to live in California, so this is something I had to really learn about, because California was basically one season, which was very, very nice. But here we've been experiencing all types of weather, and this year especially we had our coldest September in the last 40 years. We literally had a day where it was summer temperatures, and the day after it dropped so low. It's been so cold. You'll see some of the craziest outfits in Paris right now because no one knows how to dress because the weather has been so temperamental and random and crazy. But anyway, with our capsule closets, we're gonna be ready for anything. So let's talk about how to make it work for having different seasons and being prepared and not struggling through it, which I've definitely been there, done that, and that is why I want to help you. I'm gonna add a little pan of my closet. If you guys don't know, my closet is very, very extremely minimal. I always get this comment, you're gonna be shocked. There's not that much. I am able to have clothes, have time to wash my clothes. I'm not oh my god, I need to wash it tonight for tomorrow. I'm not living like that, I promise you. It's manageable. And what I do with my closet is that unless it's something very seasonal, I have a fancy dress that I keep stored in that little suitcase on the top level, I have everything hanging in front of me. I might, just in the effort of space, I didn't used to do this when I had more room in my closet, but now that my closet is one packs from IKEA, I do take my puffer jacket, for example, and I hang it. I don't hang it, I fold it in the suitcase and I keep it up there. But basically all year long I have everything, unless it's the puffer that just occupies a lot of space. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to illustrate today. Obviously I'm not wearing the puffer in the summer, common sense, but it's just there because the closet's small, and that's what we're creating. Basically, we want to have our options. We don't need to do this crazy seasonal storage. You can, just in the effort of organizing and tidying up and making it look nice, but realistically with your capsule closet, you probably don't need to. So number one, you need transitional layers. I want to almost put transitional. That's the key word for this entire video. You're gonna need layers that you can layer, for me, I get a lot of my layers at Brandy Melville. I wish they would sponsor me because I talk about them all the time. But the thing that I like about Brandy Melville, and you can recreate this from other stores, whatever store costs to you, I feel we all have our little places that we like to shop. Look for natural fibers. That's why I'm such a fan of Brandy Melville. My t-shirts are all 100% cotton. This is from there too, 100% wool. These are layers that work in the seasons. First off, the cotton is breathable, so I can wear those t-shirts in the summer, take them into now. So I have one under. I'm not gonna sweat and hold on to this sweat, and cotton is breathable, it's airy. It works when you're wearing warm stuff. It's perfect for the summer too. This is the kind of stuff that you want. So then you want different layers, have some long sleeves, have some options so that you have the time to also wash in between. A lot of people talk about the Intimissimi, really thin cashmere layers. I've actually tried those. I don't have them anymore, so I don't know what kind of testament to the Intimissimi shirt that is. I just found them very fine, and I felt they weren't gonna last very long. So it just depends how often you'd be wearing them. I am a big fan of the Uniqlo Heat Tech, but I will say that they're not the most beautiful layers. But when I went to Korea, that's what I wore every day because that's what the temperatures called for, and then you double up over it. So having that option, and that's actually something that I'm learning at the moment, trying to lean more into, is having layers, because I'm also a big hater of feeling there's too much stuff on. I'm trying to get comfortable with the options of taking off something, and you know, like you're not just taking off your puffer jacket and you're left in a t-shirt. So I'm trying to also build up my layers slowly but surely, but I am super picky. But I think that's what you have to do with a minimalist or capsule closet, is you need to be picky about what you're using, and it'll be really obvious to you whether or not you like something as a layer and so on. Like for me, the Intimissimi sweater or little thin shirt didn't really make a lot of sense for what I wore. I think it's like part of it's the sheerness too. For a long sleeve, what I really go for is like, you know, like a white kind of tighter long sleeve. I have one from Reformation, also 100% cotton, just like a ribbed like crew neck long sleeve that fits kind of tight, and then it's really easy to layer. I used to have a lot of the Skims as well, but I've been slowly transitioning those out. I love the Skims, but I've been reading the fabric content, and like for me they just weren't working. Like I'm gonna be so real with you and 100% honest that like honestly they weren't super breathable. And like if you sweat, especially when it's warm, like you might be like drawn to like the little skinny t-shirt, which I used to have. Not breathable. You know where I'm going with it. Like I just don't like that. I want to smell good. I need my clothes to work with me on that. But that's also like a big thing that I've been doing recently, is that I've been like really actively looking at like the fabric content and like the polyester. It's all gonna be a matter of like having different options to pull from without having too many duplicates, but just enough so that you have like the room to wash things. The next very important layers that I want to talk about is scarves, hats, gloves. I think it's tempting to get like very colorful scarves and so on, but I think if you're like building up like your capsule closet and you don't have an option yet, get a neutral scarf. Whatever neutral speaks to you the most. For me, it's gonna be black. I really considered like a chocolate brown scarf. Black is safer for me and it goes with everything. So that's what I'm gonna lean into. Although like some colors might call to you and might create like a really nice vibe, start with your neutral, and then if you wear a scarf often, then add your colorful one. Like there's no reason not to. You don't need to like limit yourself or like punish yourself. Like if you really want that, especially because your winter outfits are pretty repetitive, like realistically it's going to be your jacket and then, you know, like your scarf kind of brings something. So get your colorful one, but start with your neutral first so that your bases are covered. Then a hat. I think you can't go wrong with a beanie. We often see like different kinds of like winter hats and so on, but I think like those do come in and out of style. Do a beanie. Like a beanie is so effortless, simple, goes with everything. Again, I got one recently, that's a black one. And then I also have some little UGG earmuffs that I love, but that's because I'm really like particular about my ears getting cold. And like honestly, you can double them up with the beanie, but the beanie will keep you much warmer. But sometimes I don't need the full beanie, I just want my ears to be warm. So that's what I'm doing. Gloves, my biggest advice will be like get any gloves that you like. It doesn't matter the material, just whatever it feels like works with your closet. I used to have some leather gloves, but I parted with them because they were a little bit too small. But the big thing is go tech friendly. Realistically, you're gonna have your phone in your hand or you're gonna want to use your phone for something. Don't get gloves that you can't use, because guess what? You're gonna take them off and then your gloves are totally useless. You won't even bring them with you because you're gonna already anticipate that you're gonna take off your gloves and not use them. So get the tech friendly ones. I'm looking for some right now. And for gloves, like same thing, I'm looking for some super simple, just like knitted ones that happen to be tech friendly. That's all I want. The leather was beautiful and chic, but like I actually like the idea of like, you know, you just roll up your gloves, throw them in your bag, not a big deal. And then like the soft aspect, for me texture is really big. I'll quickly mention coats, because I think a simple mistake that you can make with a coat is to get one that looks like it's really warm, but then the material is most likely not natural fibers, and it is not going to keep you warm. If you're gonna do a coat, and I think like this is the one place where I think it's like really valid to invest, and I'm not saying spend thousands. It doesn't have to be designer, it doesn't have to be anything other than the correct material. Get a coat that's like a wool coat. Wool is gonna be the best like base. You can go cashmere, all of that. That's gonna keep you warm too. Alpaca, blah blah. Alpaca sheds, be careful, that will drive you nuts. But yeah, like if you really want like your one simple like winter coat and you want a proper coat and not a puffer jacket, I just went back to the puffer jacket because I just like I want the super duper warmth. I actually sold my wool coat. But I did have like the perfect wool coat that was from the Frankie shop, a super simple black coat. It's just, I know that with the super puff, I'm gonna go super puff every time. I know that the super puff is like not fully natural fibers, but it has like that down like padding, and that's what keeps you so warm. And I've tried a lot of different options, and honestly, nothing keeps you warm like one of those jackets. Like I really, really do recommend them. Aritzia is good at coats. It's a Canadian brand. They're good with the cold, obviously. I recommend theirs, but yeah, just check your material content. You can also thrift some really great coats. Like I said, it's not the price you're looking at, it's going to be the material. Those natural fibers can have like a cost attached to them because, you know, they're a little bit more expensive to produce, obviously, but I'm not saying like your coat is gonna cost you thousands. Like my coat, and I think like a fair price for a coat, like if you really want like the one coat that you're gonna use and reuse and keep, like maybe like 300, 400. I think that's reasonable. You can probably find them lower, shop off season, look for sale. That's something where you can get the one, and that's gonna be maybe a little bit more expensive in your closet, but then like you're good. So to wrap up, because I want to leave you with something like actually useful and actionable, I think a good place to start for your closet, like period, is some good t-shirts. I'm a big fan of a white tee. I don't even want to open the Pandora's box of a white tee, but finding a good white tee is actually pretty hard. Like I feel like what you're gonna find with building your capsule closet is that finding the really good like basics is actually really hard. But I really like Reformation for t-shirts. I know that J. Crew, I think, or is it Everlane? One of those two websites is known for like a really good basic tee. And then Brandy Melville is a good option. I feel like you can tell like a Brandy Melville like basic white tee from like a mile away. Like they're just obvious, but they're very good. They're soft. They're just closer to the body. Figure out like whether you like a slim fit or a looser fit. Then long sleeves, I think all those stores are good options as well. Just the thing is like natural fibers. And then if you go white, have like a way to keep them clean, because you know sometimes the yellowing happens, things like that. So just keep an eye out for that. That's going to be like your regular closet maintenance. Next, for your next level of layer, Uniqlo is really good for that. And then they have like their different warmth of like different layers that you can look into. I really recommend the super warm ones. Just I feel like they have a look to them, so it just like whether like do you have a way to like kind of dress it up so that it's not like if you go look at the Uniqlo ones, like you'll know what I mean. Like they look fine, but you can tell that it's like a layer. They just have like a different feel. As far as I'm concerned, those are not natural fibers, but like I think like their technology for keeping you warm is so good that I think that's the one place where like whatever, just like wear good deodorant. Next, we enter sweater phase. I think like a cotton knit. J. Crew has a really good, their classic roll neck. Everlane has some good cotton sweaters. Where else? I think Aritzia is a good option for all of this too. Aritzia has a little bit of everything, but again, read the materials. And then if you want to step up into like a warmer layer than a cotton knit sweater, then you go wool. And then you can decide on like a different finish if you want to go cashmere for like super, super soft, but be careful because not all cashmere is created equal. Some will advertise to you cashmere and it's very thin and it's not worth your money. Wool is pretty safe, just be careful about scratchy. Try it on before and at least have a feel for it. And then alpaca sheds a lot, but same thing, it's very, very soft. It has that kind of like fuzzy appearance to it. Those are all gonna be good options for keeping you extra warm, but again, layer. Maybe add a fleece if you want to. Fleece is likely not gonna be a natural fiber as well, so just be like mindful of that. I think like a fleece vest is a really nice idea too, as like a little extra like layer to keep you here. And then your coats, I really recommend we're like doing the whole thing, a super puff. That's like my option always for the very cold weather. Otherwise, like some sort of wool coat is gonna be a really good option too. If you want like a nice long coat, do a wool coat. And yeah, I think part of the difficulty with winter is that it might not feel super exciting because you're kind of wearing the same layers often. So I think like cover your bases, have your like really good basics that you like, be picky about fit, knowing that there's only so many ways that you can reinvent a sweater. And then once you have those down, then move on to something a little bit more fun if that's what you want to do with your closet. And I think I've told you everything I could possibly tell you about my experiences with the weather. But yeah, I'd love to know, which season do you find is the hardest to dress for? I think like for me, winter is actually not that hard. I think that I like build the base for winter in like autumn. That's where I kind of like figure out what I'm wearing, and then winter is just a matter of adding the extra layer and then like hat, scarf, and so on. I think summer is extremely hard. I do think that summer is extremely hard to dress for, purely because there's only so much you can do to not be too hot. But I think that's like a whole other video for like summer styling, and I think we'll probably target that like when we're back in the summer. I think right now the emphasis is more for like bracing for the cold. So yeah, I can't wait to hear your thoughts. And if you have some good recommendation for like your favorite like winter or like any like layering bits, I'd love to see it in the comments, because I'm always looking, and then it's so nice if we can look at each other's comments and, you know, like help each other learn from one another and like help us on this like difficult journey of what on earth should we be wearing seasonally. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.